If you're completely fresh to the gym and you're looking to build muscle, then I have a beginner's upper body workout for you, targeting the 5 major muscles of the upper body. So let's do this. Straight away, what are those 5 major muscles? Well, number 1 will be your chest. Number 2 will be your back, part of your back. Number 3 will be your shoulders. Number 4 will be your biceps. And number 5 will be your triceps. And for every single movement that we perform today, we are going to look to do 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps, okay? And what that means is you're working within a rep range. But again, I don't want to go into too much detail with that. I think it'll be very, very, very simple for you to just get in and actually perform the movements. 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps, and you can build up your weight as time goes on. So the 5 exercises we'll be looking to do today is a form of chest press, okay? And this most likely will be at any gym around the world. Secondly, will be a seated row for your back. Thirdly will be a shoulder press, and again remember these are all going to be very, very basic exercises that I know beginners can perform. When it comes to your biceps, we're going to look to do a form of a preacher curl, okay? And this will be very, very, very simple also. And lastly, we're going to do a form of a seated dip for your triceps, okay? All those machines are behind me at the current moment. And again, all these are very basic exercises. So, without further ado, let's get into them and let's perform them. Right, so your first exercise will be chest press, machine chest press, which of course will be targeting the chest. So for getting this machine set up, there's only a few things we need to do. Let's keep it nice and simple. So first of all, when it comes to adjusting the seat, at these seats in pure gym, this is just a case of if you want to take it up, you can pull it up. I promise you most seats around gyms will be like this. And if you want to put it down, it's just a case of pushing that lever up and just letting it down like so. But it'll again be a very much mix of both, okay? You can pull the lever and pull it up at the same time, etc. And that'll be the same for the rest of the machines that we're going to use today, okay? So what I will look to do, I look to adjust this seat to the point where these back handles are level with the center of my chest, aka my nipples. So I'm just going to make a rough guess at that. And I'm going to put it, give or take, to about there, okay? And if I sit down, the back handles are across level with my chest. Second thing I need to set up is, of course, the weight. Okay, I'm going to put it on nice and light just to walk you through. So that's only 2 things we need to set up for chest press. Now that we've done that, this will get setting up our posture for the movement before we even perform the exercise. So working from our toes up to our head, we're going to look to drive the heels into the floor. But you've got to bear in mind, this machine doesn't compensate very well for people that are a little bit shorter. So if you need to, you may have to put your feet and you have your heels into the actual frame of the machine. If you can reach the floor, perfect. So heels go into the floor, bum goes into the seat, lift your chest nice and high, roll your shoulders back, take the back grip so you can get a big enough stretch across the muscle. Again, we'll talk about the importance of that in another video. So both sides you do that. Now we've done that, let's get used to our elbow position. So we're going to lift our elbows up ever so slightly. We don't want to keep them too tucked in, because that's going to work our triceps, so we're not yet there. So what I'm going to do, lift those elbows up ever so slightly to the point where your wrist is nice and strong with the rest of your forearm. It's all nice and straight. You're lifting yourself nice and high. You can feel an arch in your back to the point you can fit your hand through the gap. From there, you're ready to go. All I'm going to do is push away from me and keep a slight bend at the top of the movement in my elbow. So I'll push, boom, then down for 3. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. So that's called a 1 and 3 tempo, okay? I don't want to go into too much detail of that. It's just a simple way to really open up the muscles, stretch it to allow muscle growth to occur. Then press with power away from you. So this is machine chest press. You'll perform this 3 times for 8 to 12 reps, and as time goes on and you start hitting 12 reps very easily, you'll take the pin out and you'll start to up the weight as time goes on. So that is chest first of all. Right, next we move into shoulder press machine, which will be, of course, targeting our shoulders. And to go into a bit more detail about your shoulders have 3 parts: your front delt, your side deltoid, and your rear deltoid, all deltoids, okay? This machine will specifically target 2 of them, your front and your side, okay? Now that we know that, let's look at setting this machine up. And again, very, very, very simple stuff here. So it's just going to be the seat and the weight again. We're going to look to pull this seat up to the point where these handles are resting ever so slightly slightly below our shoulder height. Why? Because we want to come all the way down to create the deepest stretch on the muscle to allow muscle growth to occur. Okay, so now that we've done that and now that we know that, let's set up that weight. And again, same thing applies. I will put this nice and light in, and you'd be surprised. This machine is an absolute task. So if you're lifting quite light on it, don't worry, it's probably quite heavy. So now that we've got everything set up, let's set up our posture from our toes up to our head. So we're going to pin our feet back under our bum, through our toes or our heels, whatever more comfortable for yourself. Okay, I'm going to go on my toes for the sake of this video, drive my bum back, lift my chest nice and high like we did with the chest press, roll the shoulders back so you can open those shoulders up as much as you can. Then, this is very important, you're going to ensure that you take a back grip, okay? You're not taking it front here because you're going to mainly just work your front delts. We're going to come in here and we're going to take a back grip just like so. Then from there, we're going to bring the elbows under our hands, making sure the wrists are nice and straight, and now we're ready to perform the movement. When ready, all you're going to do is push up, keep a slight bend in the elbow at the top. Boom. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. And what I'm doing right through the movement, I'm making sure I'm lifting my chest up to the sky so I can open up my shoulder as much as I can. I keep my elbows under my hands and keep my wrists nice and strong with the rest of my forearm. And that is as simple as performing the shoulder press, okay? All it takes is a couple of things to set up, a few tweaks with your posture, and actually learning how to perform the movement correctly. One big important part for every single machine that we perform today, I want you to ensure that when you come to the bottom of your rep, you leave a slight gap in between the plates. That's going to keep the tension well on the muscle. Right, and now that is shoulders ticked off. Right, so far we have performed movements on our chest and our shoulders. It is now time to move on to our triceps, which is the back of our arm. And what we're going to use for that is this machine here, which is called a seated dip, okay? And as I said, looking to target your overall tricep. Before I get this machine up, the same thing applies. There's only a few things here you need to worry about. Number one being the seat. So when it comes to the seat, I want you to try your best to place this as low as you possibly can. The reason for that is because if I set that seat up too high, I'm not going to get a deep enough stretch on my tricep. So when doing this, let's take that lever, and for myself, for my height, I pop it right to the bottom one. Most people will be able to do right to the bottom one. If you're that little bit on the shorter side, then by all means take it up a few clicks, okay? Now that we've done that, we've got to ensure that we set up the handles. These handles twist in and out, okay? So right now, you can ensure to twist them in and out just like so. As simple as that. What we want to do, because we want to target the triceps more than anything, is twist the handles inwards, just like so, on both sides. Okay? And it's to the point where they do become narrower as an overall. Now that that's set up, the seat is set up, let's just keep that weight nice and light for the sake of showing you this. Right, so when we're ready, we're going to take a seat down, just like so. Right, starting from our toes up to our head, we're looking to drive our heels or toes into the floor. Big important part here, push your bum right back into the seat, then you're going to look to lift your chest up nice and high and roll your shoulders back, really creating a big solid posture right throughout this movement. Next, we're going to take our hands, either one of two options. Number one, right on the ends of the grip, or you can do what I prefer to do, and I like to grab the backs of the grips and place my thumbs on the top. It's just a bit more comfortable on my wrist, etc. Okay? But for the sake of this video, I'm going to show you how the machine says to do so, and place your hands here on the end, okay? Now that we've done that, we're going to look to tuck our elbows in, lift our chest high. Now we're ready to perform the movement. So when we're ready, all we're going to do is push down, but we must ensure that we keep our chest lifted nice and high right throughout, and we do not cave forward and use our shoulders in the movement. Stay lifted high, push down to the floor, just all tricep. When you get to the bottom, which is where the plates nearly touch, keep a slight gap in between the plates and push. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. If we were to do the grip in another way, I would take my grip on the bags here. Again, the way that I prefer to do so, people prefer either or. Take a back grip just like so, place the thumbs on the top, and you're just going to push down. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. 1, 2, 3, squeeze. Slight bend at the bottom, and that is how you perform a seated dip for your triceps. Let's move on. Right, next exercise is going to be a machine preacher curl, which will be targeting our biceps now. So to reiterate, we have started with our chest, moved on to our shoulders, onto our triceps, now on to our biceps, the fourth major muscle of the upper body, okay? So for getting this set up, it is only going to be the seat and the weight yet again, keeping things nice and simple. So we want to create the seat height to the point that you're resting at a dinner table like a little kid. It's quite high up, you're not sitting away up here like an adult would, okay, because what's going to happen here is going to keep you in a very fixed position and allow you to really open up your triceps completely. So all I've done here is just set this to a point where it's nice and comfortable for me to sit down, and this pad is near enough resting at my chest. The weight will take very nice and light for the time being. So when we're ready, let's set up our posture. So a lot of people keep a gap in between themselves in this machine, but ideally what happens there is you will lift your elbows off the pad, and we don't want that. So let's pull ourselves right in against the pads, just like so. When we're ready, we're going to bring our hands up over the top, and we're going to ensure that we tuck our elbows in as far as we can. So let's do that with the grip in our hand. So if I take this, I curl my wrists in, I don't slant them back. That's going to put unwanted tension down your forearm. We're going to make sure our wrists are curled in just like so, nice and strong. That's going to put a lot more tension on your biceps. Then from there, really look to shift your elbows in nice and tight when you've got this curl in the wrist. So that is essentially our posture to just get set up. Your feet, you can place them on this pad at the bottom or on the floor, either or. So when we're ready, all we're going to do is curl up towards our nose, squeeze up, 1, 2, 3, as far as we possibly can go until those plates nearly touch. Drive up and squeeze to the top. 1, 2, 3, really open up those biceps and squeeze right across your face. You're really looking to open them up, to stretch them, and again that will encourage muscle growth. So you squeeze right across your face and open up completely, using that 3 to 1 negative. Small things for getting set up, and it can just be as simple as that to working your biceps on the machine for each curl. Last exercise to target the 5 major upper body muscles of the body, okay? So what we're looking to do here is perform a movement on our back, but again, let's go back to what we have performed so far. Number 1, for our chest, we have performed chest press. Number 2, for our shoulders, we have performed shoulder press. Number 3, we have performed triceps, or seated dip, sorry, for our triceps. Number 4, we have performed a machine preacher curl for our biceps. And lastly, number 5, we are going to perform a chest supported machine row, which will be for your back, specifically your lats. That's either side of your back, the biggest muscles on your body, okay? So what we're going to look to do here is quite a few things to set up here, so let's take our time doing so. We've got number 1, the seat, number 2, the chest pad, and number 3, the weight itself. So let's start off with number 1, the seat. So we want to set this seat to the point where this big ball part is sitting against our stomach, and this smaller area is going to go right down the center of our chest, okay? So honestly, this seat height is a good height for me, okay? But how to adjust this is the same as every other one. If you want to go down, you push that lever up and that will pop it down. If you want to take it up, and you place it just like so. So once we've done that, let's get on the machine. Secondly, we want to set up this chest pad correctly. For getting this set up, you've got to pull this up, then take the weight of it underneath and you can pull it out to wherever you need. For me, I can do it to the point where I can see 5 holes on the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is number 2, okay? How we know when this is at the right place is when you have to really stretch either side to grab the handles. If you can just grab it with a bent elbow, that means it's a bit too close. You want to get it to the point where it's a big stretch either side so you can really open up those lats to again encourage muscle growth. So now that we've got this set up and the seat set up, lastly we just keep the weight nice and light, okay, for the sake of performance movement. So setting up our posture from our toes up to our head. Feet must drive into these pads at the bottom, okay? They will have them on your machine. If you don't and you drive them against the floor, you're going to take a lot of compression through your chest, which is unwanted, and it can become very, very uncomfortable. So we're going to place the balls of our feet against these pads just like so. Secondly, we're going to drive our chest and our stomach right into the chest supported pad, okay? And once we've done that, we're going to grab the narrow grip handles. That is an absolute must. Grab grabbing these top grip handles will work the upper echelon of your back, aka your traps and your rhomboids. But we want to use our time wisely and work the biggest muscle on our back, which is our lats either side of our back. So it's going to grab either side of the smaller and narrow handles, just like so. Then from there, let's set up our posture. All you're going to do is lift your chest nice and high. Make sure you keep a slight arch in your back like I've got here. And when you're ready, you're going to keep those elbows tucked in, drive in either side, that plate just dropped, and we're just going to pull through nice and strong. So we're going to squeeze in, boom, 1, 2, 3. Keep a big open chest, let them pull it all the way in, and drive and squeeze. You can see that I'm keeping my chest lifted up to the sky. I'm not leaning forward and letting my chest cave in. I'm allowing myself to stay nice and firm. Squeeze in off the lats, full range right down to the bottom to open up those lats. Drive in and squeeze. Right through it, I'm keeping my elbows nice and tight. Right through it, I'm keeping my chest nice and high up. And lastly, I'm keeping my wrists nice and strong with my forearm. I don't want it go to the point where I'm having to do this and it's feeling very uncomfortable. Just pull it back to the point where it's nice and comfortable to keep your wrists nice and level with your forearms. And that is how to perform the chest supported machine row. As simple as that for your back. Right, let's go back to the whiteboard. We're back. So we have just performed the 5 major exercises for the upper body using equipment within Pure Gym. And I guarantee you, those exercises will be in Excite. Those exercises will be in a JD. Those exercises will be in a Banner Times. All these gyms, your private gyms also. If they don't, you can do exercises very, very, very similar to them. So just to reiterate what we went over today. We understood that we've done an exercise to perform the chest movement, okay? Secondly, we've done an exercise for the back. Thirdly, done an exercise for the shoulders, biceps, and lastly, triceps. And that was using all of these plus the rep range and whatnot, as you can see on this board. A big question also a lot of people ask is how much rest time do I take? Well, in between these 3 sets, look to take 60 to 90 seconds, okay? And that will ensure that you keep the intensity as high as you possibly can. Then from there, that's your simple overall start to building muscle for the upper body. It can be that simple, does not need to be overcomplicated. Go away, I hope this helped. And again, if you're looking for extra help, the Resurgence Promise is here for you. By all means, please follow along for every other video. I will constantly be dropping so much free stuff on here to try help you out as much as you possibly can. Stay tuned for it. Have an awesome day.